Shalom Bezrat Hashem. This is week 2 of the Nechamot period of the weeks of consolation, the 7 weeks leading up to, or starting with from the first Shabbat after Tisha B'Av, the beginning of the consolation. So this is already the second week, and this is Parshat Vaya Aqev, the proper title. Here it's shortened. So it says, Vatomer Tzion, said did Tzion, which is the city of David HaMelech, which is, again, as we said, if you were to envision a Yud, Yerushalayim is the main part of the Yud, and Sion is the bottom of the Yud, that little tail, the connection. So, anyway, that's the city of David. So it says, Azavani Hashem, written Yud and then Hey and then Wow and then Hey, the name of the infinite being that is one that generates existence, which is called the same symbols scrambled of Yud and then Hey and then Vav and Wow and then Hey is Havaya, which is existence. Havaya. So it says the infinite, so Tzion, as if the city of David is saying, Salik shchinte de Hashem mini. Hashem, Salik is the Targum of the word Allah, really, which is to go up. So Allah Hashchina, the divine presence of Hashem, rose up and went up and left me. The text is saying, left me did the infinite being. Yud and then Hey and then Wow and then Hey. And ve'adokai, another word that we don't say until if we're reading the full verse, Aleph Daled Nun Yud, Shechehani, Shechehani, that forgot me. So literally it would be translated Sion, which is where Zion comes from, is saying to Hashem, as it were, Azavani Hashem, the infinite being left me, and Adokai, my masters, so to speak, literally, that are one, again, the Torahs, that male, female, and their connection, which is the Torah's structure. Shechei Hani. And the Torahs forgot me. So here's left, and here is forgot. So the meaning of those words is, says Tzion, Azavani. What does it mean that the infinite being left? God's presence, which brings with it prophecy, goodness, tranquility, all the things that people are searching for, has now left me. Has v'shalom. Went up. Went up did the Shekhinah of Hashem, mini, from me. It went up, whatever this means, away from us. Has v'shalom. And then it says, V'Hashem, spelled Aleph Daled Nun Yud, which is my masters, which are the Torahs that are one. Again, Hashem is one, and oneness is the perfect unity that is male and female that unite and create life. And so that's the structure of the Torah. It's the structure of our brain. I think that cell, of inception, the first DNA is the brain, and from it grows everything. I don't know, whatever. That's a whole other thing. But anyway, our minds are structured like that, people structured like that, this concept, male and female, and the connection. That is the concept of oneness. And so here it says, the Torahs Shechehani. The Torahs forgot me, as if it were saying, and the Targum is Rahakani, have become distanced from me. Which is, again, two things happening here. God's presence, which enables prophecy, which enables true Tchiyat HaMeitim to occur, left me. That is a tragedy. Prophecy left the world. Or God's divine presence, which brings with it all that things. And Adokai, and my masters, the Torahs, Chas v'Shalom, Rahakani, distanced me, or were distanced. So it's interesting language also. What does that even mean? Because I think is it's speaking how it's really people who forget about the Torah. It's not that Hashem, there's forgetfulness before God. It means that people distance the Torah. But in a way, today, the Torah is distanced from many people on multiple huge levels, even in how we're receiving it now. If it's not in K'tav Ashurit, if there's no Targum, if these things aren't lined up and seen and color-coded, meaning just understanding what is actually being communicated, the words and their meaning. Because most people just have the words, and those words translated into every other language, but they don't have the meaning of those words. All these crazy things. Essential thing, not crazy insane, meaning crazy that it's insane how this is so kept from most people. And again, that's what we're doing here. We're trying to bring that, undo that, and restore the Torah to its actual form and make it accessible. So the opposite of, again, let's say this negative prophecy or state of being. So it says, Hatishkach isha ula. That hey is added, it's like a rhetorical question. So the Targum writes the meaning. What does that mean? Hatishkach. Ha'efshar detithneshe. Is it possible for a woman to forget her son? Ha'efshar detithneshe ithabera. Is it possible to forget for a woman her own son, a mother, her child? It's a rhetorical question, which means it's impossible. Mirahem ben bitna, from her own womb. Milerahama al bar me'aha. So mirachem is not mirechem. Mirachem is the act based on the Targum. I don't understand those whole areas, but based on what it's saying, lemirachama, to have extra rachamim and mercy over the son of her, literally, stomach, and the Targum is me'eha, her insides. There's a difference going on, so what is that highlighting? So that is what the conversation is. Mefiva knishta de Yisrael, answers back Knesset Yisrael, the collective of all of Israel, and says, so Hashem is saying, is it possible for me to the response to what is being said now? Am Tzion is saying, Hashem left me, Has v'shalom, the infinite being left me, which is impossible. Of course, the infinite generates reality. Ve'adokai, and my masters, shechehani, my masters forgot me, or the Targum, rahakani, distanced me. Hatishka isha ula, Hashem is answering back and saying, is it possible, because Hashem is one, again, is it possible for a mother to forget her child? Is it possible for a mother to not have mercy and rachamim and give everything good in a future and everything for the daughter, son that is born from literally her stomach? Here it says, the Targum is me'eha, her insides. So it's like understanding the message constantly wrong. It's just not hearing what Hashem is saying. From that beautiful thing that Hashem told them, the fact that Hashem will never forget you, how is it possible? So then Meshiva Knishta de Yisrael, answers Knesset Yisrael ve'amarat, and she says, Imleth kodamoi ithna sha'a, if there is no forgetfulness before Hashem the infinite, Dilma, maybe, and Dilma, the source of the word dilemma, is I think Rabbi Yaakov told me. I have, it's source who told me that. It's Hashem. So Dilma, this dilemma, maybe. Dilma lo mitnashe li, maybe Hashem will not forget for me. Yath de avadith egel de zahav, that I worshipped an egel of zahav, has v'shalom, that I worshipped this golden calf, whatever this means, and whatever that means. So it says, so basically, Am Yisrael is saying, great, now Hashem doesn't forget, right? Hashem says, I'll never forget you. From that, they could misunderstand and say, oh my gosh, there's no forgetfulness before God. Maybe he's gonna never, maybe Hashem, again, he, she, right? Hashem Echad, Hashem is one. That's why there's no concepts of people marrying God and all these kinds of things. So, anyway, topic for another time maybe. But anyway, Dilma, maybe Hashem will not forget the fact that we worship this Egel of Zahav, whatever this. There was huge problems surrounding it. It's not that they just built a little golden calf. That's like maybe to call it by like a nice name, because there was horrible things going on at that. Whatever. Has v'shalom. So basically they understood it like that. So now, Amar la Neviah, says to her the prophet. So here is the book of Yeshaya. I guess Yeshaya is speaking. But basically, a prophet of God answers her, Jam ele tishkachna. Even this, Hashem would forget. Af ilain yithneshian. Even these will be forgotten for you. The fact that you did in plural, it's even speaking in plural. The fact that not just that one egel, it wasn't like that was the one instance, let's say. Hashem saying, all of these evil things, I will forget them all. Meaning, if you do teshuvah and obviously come back and all these kinds of things, come back to the real alphabet and study what these symbols depict on that basic level, and then use them throughout the entire game, literally. Literally. So, we have other videos going through that. So it says, V'amarat le im ith kadamoy ith nesha'a. Again, understanding that whole thing wrong. Hashem is saying, yes, I'll forget all those evil things. Now, what is it? Says meshiva has v'shalom. It's like in disbelief, really. It's out of like, I don't know. We'll see what it is, but God forbid, right? So it says meshiva ve'amrale, answers meshiva to returns the words, the response, ve'amarale, and says to Hashem, Im ith kodamoy ith nasha'a. If there is forgetfulness before Hashem, maybe Hashem is going to forget. Dilma mithnesheli yath de amarith besinai, that which I have said in Sinai, in receiving the Torah on Har Sinai. Na'abed unekabel, we will do and then we will listen and receive. We will do whatever you say, and nekabel, and then we will receive. So maybe Hashem, there now Am Yisrael is saying, if there is forgetfulness before God, maybe Hashem is going to forget the fact that by Sinai we said, Na'aseh v'nishma, that because of that, in the merit of that, and all of the amazing things that go with that. So it says, Meshiv ve'amarla, answers back Hashem, and through the prophet, the real prophets of Hashem, of course, through the true alphabet and all the secrets hidden within. So it says ve'amar la, and answers to her. Wa'anochi, and I. Anochi is always, when Hashem is speaking especially, it's a reference to Matan Torah. It's Rabbi Avraham Kalimi via Rabbi Moshe Shapir Zatzal. Via Rabbi Yochanan in the Talmud says, Anochi is an acronym of Ana Nafshi Katvit Yahavit. I, Ana, Nafshi, my soul, Katvit, wrote it down, Yahavit, and let you have it, gave it to you. I, my soul, wrote down and gave it to you. That is literally what the Torah is. When seen scribed with the symbols in their true forms, I'm sorry to go over this every time, but literally, this is the difference, and it is unspoken of, almost. I don't know, but this is what needs to happen, B'ezrat Hashem. So obviously you have to see the Torah in the original, otherwise we're being robbed. God didn't write an ugly script. God didn't give you reading material, summer homework. God didn't do that. Hashem gave you the keys to life and gave you the guide to life. And only with those keys can you unlock the guide, and you have to see them in its true form and beauty. Even if you don't understand a single symbol, it makes you want to understand what is everything, what is happening. And that begins your entire journey in the most amazing worlds of information. Things that you would... Everything else pales in comparison to the depth and imagination and just the beneficial information on a daily level. Forgetting we're not going into, this isn't some just stories, collection of stories that are, like interesting or fables. But this is practical information, teaches you how to think and everything like that. Okay, and so Hashem is saying, Anochi, my Torahs, memory, which is possibly a source, as we said, of the English memory, but memory, my words that you could then remember. Memory lo yirhakinach, my words will never cause you to become rachok, cause you to be distanced. Hashem's words, derachea darchei noam ve'kol nethivoteha shalom. The ways of God, the ways of the Torah here in the feminine, deracheha, her ways of the Torah sheba'al peh, darchei noam, are ways of pleasantry. Ve'kol nethivoteha, and even all the private paths, the further you examine every single thing, you'll just find shalom, you'll just find how it all is one amazing thing that just interconnects. And that's the key to learning Torah, that it's like this brilliant gem that was fragmented into so many pieces, and you just have to learn them all and collect them all. Sorry about that.